Hey everybody, welcome to today's video lesson in economics. Today we are talking about unemployment. So our guiding question is, what is unemployment and why does it happen? A very pertinent topic today as lots of the country is facing high unemployment rates. The terms that we have in this chapter is employment. There are 5 types of unemployment that we are going to cover today: structural, geographic structural, cyclical, frictional, and seasonal. So what is unemployment? Well, someone is considered unemployed if they are willing to work, meaning they want to do a job or they want to work somewhere. They're able to work, meaning they're capable, whether physically or otherwise, to do work. They're actively looking for work, but they can't find work. Okay, so if they meet those 3 categories, they're willing, able, and looking, but they still can't find work, then we consider them to be unemployed, looking for a job. So what do these have to do with unemployment, you may ask? We're going to go over each one. So like I said, there are 5 types of unemployment, and the first type is structural unemployment. Structural unemployment is when someone does not have the skills that employers are looking for. So they cannot do the job that the employer wants. For an example, if Mr. Timon was ever going to try to go on The Voice, okay, I do not have the singing skills to go on The Voice, so I would be structurally unemployed due to that fact. There's also a geographic structural unemployment. It means that you might have certain job skills, but you are geographically separated from the jobs that are available. So for an example, that could be if you are the world's greatest crab catcher, but you live in Kansas. Okay? There's not many jobs looking for crab catchers in Kansas since there is no oceans there. You are geographically in the wrong place. Your skills do not meet your geographic location, so you are geographic structurally unemployed. The third type of unemployment is a cyclical unemployment. Okay? Cyclical means circles going around, so it comes and goes, but it just means there is a low level of demand for your job skills. Okay? You might be a really good typewriter repairman, but many of you probably don't know what a typewriter is, so that's because there are no more typewriters really, so people do not have a high demand for fixing their typewriters. Maybe like 20 or 30 years ago, or even later, there were a lot of typewriter repairmen. But now there's not, so they had to get new skills. So when there is a low level of demand for your job skills, then you are cyclically unemployed. Fourth type of unemployment, those hands rubbing together cause friction, so it's called frictional unemployment. When a person is temporarily moving between jobs, and this is one of the more common types of unemployment, and this happens when someone is laid off because their job is closing down or they're changing, so they lay people off, which is happening a lot right now currently. If someone gets fired for doing something wrong on the job, or you're changing careers. So if you're in between jobs, you just got laid off and you're looking for a new one, or you're changing careers and you left your job and you're looking to do something else, you are frictionally unemployed. Okay, and the 5th type of unemployment is seasonal. Okay, and this is where a lot of students fall into place during seasonal unemployment, and you're out of work because of the time of the year. So a great example of that is if you are a mall Santa, or if you just work in the mall in general because of Christmas time. Lots of malls and shopping centers hire people to work during the Christmas shopping season, and then when people stop going to the malls, those people get laid off. So mall Santas are only employed during Christmas. They can't go being a Santa during summer. So that is why we call it a seasonal unemployment. And here's some pictures of some real life small Santas. Hopefully you guys don't go check out this one. All right, so let's do a couple of practice scenarios, which are examples of what you guys will be doing in one of your assignments. So we're just going to read the assignment and figure out which type of unemployment is being represented. One, I recently worked as a baseball coach. Now that winter has started, I think I'm going to be out of work. Help, what kind of unemployment am I facing? Since baseball is not played in the winter and the season has changed, I'm out of a job because it is a seasonal unemployment. Okay. Number two, I just graduated from beauty school last week. I received my certificate in ear and nose waxing. I've had 3 interviews as a butt waxer at the local salon, but they won't hire me. What kind of unemployment am I facing? Well, even though I went to beauty school and I have the skills, I don't have the certain skills they're looking for as a butt waxer, so I am structural unemployment. All right, 2 more. Number 3, I had a full-time job saving jobs from enemies far and wide. Ever since the police cracked down on crime, there are criminals to fight. Now my cape and car remain unused in my awesome man cave. So you are bad, and the police have cracked down on crime. What type of unemployment are you facing? That would be cyclical. Since your job is fighting crime and there is no crime, there's a low demand for your skills. Number 4, final one. I can't believe I got caught. I only ate 1 taco from a customer's order, and now I've been fired from Taco Bell. I was just so hungry. Now I'm looking for a job. The type of unemployment we are facing here is frictional because you got fired. And so you are in between jobs. You just had one, you lost it, now you're looking for a new one. So that is unemployment. All right. To continue our unemployment talk, we talk about unemployment rate, which is something that gets talked about a lot on the news. And simply, this is how we track unemployment. So how do we know what the unemployment rate is? We're going to talk about that. Some of the terms that's going to come up: unemployment rate, civilian labor force, or CLF, unemployment rate equation, average unemployment rate. And all of those terms, along with the ones that we talked about earlier, are part of your vocabulary for this chapter. So let's talk about the unemployment rate. Okay. The unemployment rate is simply a count of the percentage of the labor force that is unemployed. And we'll talk about what the labor force is a little later, but basically this is the number of people that are willing to work, are able to work, are looking for work, but don't have a job. Okay? If you have a high percentage number, that means there's lots of people that are out of work. If you have a low percentage number, which is obviously what we want to have, that means there are fewer people out of work. Currently, the most up-to-date information that I could find in the US, we have a 4.4% unemployment rate. Now, you may think that that is low, but typically that is high and it's been growing. Okay? In California, we have 3.9% unemployment rate, and in the Bay Area, the best number I can find is we have about a 3% unemployment rate here in the Bay Area. There's tons of charts and graphs that you can find that do this. Typically, they don't do unemployment rates up to date. Usually a couple of months or even a year. They do it over a year, or they do it over a couple months. So we'll get some new numbers coming out in the next few weeks to a month about where we're at based on what's happening due to the virus. Let's talk about what the labor force is. The civilian labor force, CLF. Okay, anyone over the age of 16 that currently has a job and is working or is looking for work is part of the civilian labor force. Okay, so that includes you. So the unemployment rate. Well, there's a mathematical equation for this. You take the number of people in the civilian labor force who have a job, the number of people who don't have a job, who are unemployed, and you divide the total number of people in the labor force, multiply that number by 100, and you get your unemployment rate percentage. And you see this chart down here graphs the change in employment rate from 2008 to 2013. The highest there is when we had our small recession in 2008 and how it affected the unemployment rate in the United States. You can see it got as high as 10%, which is pretty devastating for people. All right, so let's do a little bit of unemployment rate practice. So if the civilian labor force has 900,000 people and the number of unemployed is 50,000, what is the unemployment rate? Okay, so if we put that back into our equation, we take the number of unemployed people, 50,000, and divide it by 900,000, multiply that by 100, and we get a number of 5.6%. Okay, number two, in San Diego, the number of unemployed people is 78,000 people. Okay, the CLF is 1,246,000. What is the unemployment rate? Take that first number, 78,000, the number of unemployed people, divide it by the CLF, 1,246,000, multiply by that number by 100, and you get 6.3%. Okay, you can do all this with a calculator. I don't need to see the work on paper or on the computer. Just push it into your calculator and you get those unemployment rates. All right, another thing that we're going to be doing in our practice is talking about the average employment rate. Okay, so this is defined the average rate over a couple months or years even. So each month they give out a unemployment, could be 4% in March, and maybe it goes up to 2.5% in April, maybe it goes down to 3% in May, and they add up all those rates and they divide the total number of months they're counting, which is an average. Okay? So for an example, if we got April at 5%, May at 6%, and June at 5.5%, you add those three numbers up, 5 plus 6 plus 5.5 gives you a total of 16.5%. Okay, since there's 3 months that we're talking about, April, May, and June, divide 16.5% by 3, which gives you an average of 5.5%. That means over that time, an average of 5.5%. Even though April and May are a little bit lower or higher, we're looking for the average unemployment rate. Okay, so hopefully this information is useful in helping you guys finish the activities for this week. It gives you a little bit more understanding of the unemployment rate and some of the terms that are going in the news today. I'll see you guys next time.